What's up, Sim Racers? This is Larry TJR Sim here, and today we're looking at iRacing. iRacing now has AI. Freaking awesome. I've been wanting AI in iRacing for a long time, and actually, iRacing has been been for me for quite a while. I go and check out the new releases to see if the tire models get better and stuff here and there, but predominantly I don't produce hardly any videos on iRacing just because I don't have time to do a real race with real live people, although I thoroughly enjoy it when I do have the time, and it is some of the best racing I've had out there with iRacing when I actually get the time. However, I really enjoy the mechanics and the force feedback effects with iRacing. Oh, actually, they tremendously picked up through the later releases with the new tire models, and as well as when I really switched to a direct drive wheel. I really think iRacing is made for direct drive wheels more so than a belt driven wheel, because even on the older tire models, I just feel so much more confident with a direct drive wheel and feeling what the tires are doing and what the car is actually doing out on track. But this isn't about direct drive wheels. This is about iRacing having AI. So I digress here. I'm finishing up a qualifying session here. And yeah, let's get into this. So iRacing, this is a landmark for it. They actually have two cars out now. They have the 911 that you saw there, as well as the Miata. Now this 911 GT3 car is a fairly tricky car to play with, and looks like qualifying's over. Let's zoom up to the actual race itself here. Play that. And let's see, come on now. There we go. Now we're lining up to race. Now, just to go through the steps with you. So you do have two cars right now. You have this 911 GT3 Cup, and you have a Mazda Miata that looks like it just came out a couple days ago. And I've played them both, and they're both really good. This particular car is a lot more finicky car with no ABS, no traction control. So lockups are pretty easy to happen. So that's probably why they came out with the Mazda as well. Eventually, all the cars will be there, dirt cars and all that. And we'll go into the setup of how to do the race here in a second. As far as setting up your season, you can set up your custom seasons and enjoy it that way. Race all the tracks you want. Right now, I think it's 7 tracks. We'll go back and count them here at the end. But it's iRacing. It's just as if you're playing a person, except my findings is usually AI is better than people and more considerate than people. But this opens up a lot of doors for us that don't have time to sit there and do scheduled races, and opens up the competition level that when you do go run a scheduled race, you're going to be more competitive in that race because you had some AI to practice against yourself without taking off some other driver that you happen to run in the back to, because you're not used to this sensitive braking on, say, this 911 car that you're wanting to play with, because it has no ABS or anything like that. So you really have to feel your way around the track with a car like this, as far as getting heat in the brakes and heat in the tires. And when the tires come in, they come in, you feel it. And just like it does on a regular track day on any other car. I haven't done track days in real cars, but I've done plenty of track days with motorcycles and mock races and stuff. And yeah, you totally know when your tires come in real life, and when they come in, you feel like you can do no wrong with them, and that's just the feeling you get with iRacing. When the tires come in, it feels great. So the new tire models are great, and then you're able to practice. And you can see here the AI moves out of my way. Even though I went wide on that turn, he comes back in here low on me. Very intuitive. It races just like a regular person would race me. So really like this. This is, of course, a 15-minute race here. We won't watch the whole thing, but at least you get some examples of what to experience. Like, I almost hit that guy, overshot. And then, yeah, it's just getting used to this particular car out there, because it's really easy to lock up the brakes with no ABS. So back into it again here. What can I say? The AI is pretty good. I've tested out the AI by just stopping on the track and see if they would go around or if they would just stack up behind me, and they actually went around me. And there's also an option in the setup here that you can check for your races to have the AI avoid you. I found that they avoid you either way, but it's probably there for people that maybe have a hard time holding their own lines, and you can maybe check that box to add a little bit extra caution level for the AI to really go around you. But I haven't had them run into me unless it was just totally my fault. I haven't outbroke them as far as breaking in a corner and get slammed in the back of and tossed across the track like I have in so many other sims that have AI in it already. So very, very good AI. I can't say enough. It's actually really good. I have noticed when you do stop to the edge of the track or something like that, they do slow down to go around you. If you're on the race line, right? If you're off the race line, they just zoomed on past me, which is pretty good. So yeah, no slowdown there, no stack ups like you used to see in other beginning stages of AI racing with other sims. Like say I said, of course, it was real bad about that, the stack up back in the day. ACC is not so much that of an issue nowadays. At least I haven't tried that scenario here lately with ACC. But anyway, it works good. It works just like all the official rules and stuff are the same. You practice, you run through qualifying, and then of course you hit your race afterwards. Now you can skip any session you want and go straight to the race. And when you go straight to the race, you'll of course start at the back of the pack. Although I did one race start around 4th, and I'm not sure why that happened, but I did. But another race I totally missed the qualifying because I just let it run, and then I went got something else. I had something to drink, came back. The race already started, and yeah, I started from the pits, which is totally legit. That's where you're supposed to start then. So the neat thing is, and maybe you might not like it though, but you can't pause a race. It's more like real life. You can't just pause a race and walk off. Like say if you're in any other sim, you can pause the race, go get your pizza at the door or whatever, and then or go get a drink and unpause it and keep going. This one, the race doesn't stop. You just drive off to the edge of the track, get off the race line, and yeah, the race still goes on with or without you. Now, at the end of the race, if you want to replay that race, you can do that, and it's at the menu settings. You'll actually still exit out of this race, out of this menu area here totally. You'll quit this race. There's not a replay button anywhere on the screen at this point. But yeah, you at the beginning you will just relaunch the race. It'll give you an option to re-race it. Then my flashes are working. You know, when you're in car in the driver's seat, you don't notice the flash and lights off the cars in front of you, which is a little disappointing. I wish you would, because I was just wondering if the dang things worked. But they apparently do here. I'm seeing that in the replay. Something like I said, of course, the company's showing you notice the reflection off the back of the cars and stuff. So, but anyway, yeah. What else can I say about this? Several tracks. All the tracks will be coming, of course, like you would expect at all the cars. Now, for us YouTubers and stuff that do this in their spare time and stuff, and actually for anybody that's trying to set up, say, VR graphics or your monitor graphics to get the most out of the game, to see the most and not impact your FPS. This is awesome, man. You can set however many cars you want on the track. I think it's up to 60. This particular race is 19. And see what true FPS you get out on the track. Because before, all you had the option is to go out on track in a practice session or a race. And at race time, it's too late to figure out your graphical settings to see if you're gonna stutter when you're out there on track, especially in VR. So yeah, you can run several tests to see, okay, I need to set it here, I need to set it there, turn off shadows, I can crank up shadows now, whatever it may be. You can at least adjust your settings before you actually go into a real race with real people, and yeah, you got everything set up, ready to go. So that's fantastic that they have AI racing. It's more than just racing. You see these people avoid me now. Look at that. They slowed down for me to get the hell out of the way. So it didn't crash into me, so that's good. Yeah, anyway, I digress here. Just a fun, pretty happy. I'm talking to y'all guys with a smile on my face because it's actually pretty dang fun because I do enjoy the force feedback and the mechanics of these cars in iRacing. So, what else? Yeah, so you can test everything out yourself. Pre-set up your graphical settings. VR is a huge plus. Now, speaking on VR, VR doesn't work for me right now with the new update with iRacing. I'm not sure why, but I did some research, and it was kind of a setting that some people had, but I guess not many people are reporting on it right now. I didn't see it in iRacing forums. Well, I saw a couple of people report it in iRacing forums, but their resolutions that they found did not work for me, which is basically launch it from OpenVR, launch Steam VR first, and then launch the game through OpenVR instead of the Oculus. And of course, I'm using the Oculus Rift S right now. It didn't work for me. If I try to launch it with the Oculus, I get the little app on the screen that says, loading iRacing, and it just stays there forever. And I can move my headset around and see on my regular monitor that I am actually in VR on the monitor, but in my HMD, the headset itself, I don't see it. So, yeah, hopefully that'll get straightened out here in the future. But I noticed it didn't work in this beta UI, or just launching iRacing normally without the beta UI. So if you're experiencing that, share below if you have a fix for it. I'd appreciate that. And I'm sure if I'm experiencing it, other people are experiencing it as well. So here I am trying to learn how to drive. But anyway, that's great proof there on screen that you see. AI is all avoiding me. I'm trying to get my dang car turned around and back down the straight. Not the safest conditions. Probably wouldn't have done that in that manner if it was a real race, because the chances of a real person hitting you are a lot greater. However, this is AI, and caution to the wind. I really want to see how they're going to react to me being a fool out there. So yeah, let's just test it and see. The nice thing about this is, you can still use your pit in, pit out, all your commands that you're used to using. Pass left, pass right. I don't know if they'll actually mind you saying that, pass your left, pass right or not. But that would be actually neat if they do that. But anyway, all your commands still work the same as if you're racing against real people. So cool stuff there. That's about it. Let's jump over to the menu system itself. Show you how to set that up real quick, so you can enjoy this lovely, this lovely racing here. So let's see. Okay, so let's see how you launch this iRacing here app. Now, if you're looking for the AI, you're going to want to be into the beta UI, which if you go to the website, the iRacing, and log in through, regular Google Chrome and see this, that's fine. That's what you can do as well. But you're going to want to, launch beta UI. Or if you come over here and you're launching it through Steam, you can hit play, and it gives you the option of play iRacing or play using the beta interface. I already have the interface up, so I won't launch it again. So that's where you'll find the AI. So we'll close this out, and we'll stick to just the interface itself here. And of course, it covers all. I like the new interface now. I didn't really like it in the beginning. It didn't work very well, and especially with VR, playing in VR, it was just had too much anti-aliasing in it, and it was difficult to find races and stuff. So this one seems to work better. But you go over here to Go Racing, obviously, and you can see, of course, up next your current series, user created series. AI race is the one we're interested in here, and I have several of them. I have the Mazda, and I have the TJR Sim season, which is just use, of course, obviously the Porsche. It has the cars on there, and it has the two sample ones already here. One I have in progress that I stopped, and then I think I stopped this. See if I can close this one. No, I'd have to go to store to continue it because I don't have that particular track. But if you want to go back and see your season, you can go over here and say season standings. Now this particular one, I placed 5th in it, and several reasons why. Besides, I lack some skills, but the I didn't finish one of the races. I got busy having to do something else with the kids in the middle of a race. So hence why I don't really have a lot of time to do online racing with people, with real people, because it's hard to schedule the time. And even when I do schedule some time to play, I'm interrupted, you know. So this was a perfect example, I think, of what a lot of people, a lot of us grown-ups would experience that's out here. But yeah, I finished fifth in overall. It was 6 different races, and didn't place in some of them, but you can see, the poles, the starts, the wins, top 5, top 10, average start, average finish, laps led, incidents, 17 incidences, average incidents 4.25%. So that's me there. We got 40 points in this season. Really cool. Now the neat thing is I was curious, if you didn't complete a race, what happened? Well, the races goes on without you, and if you didn't complete that race and you closed out of it, you can actually go back and re-race it. Right here at the bottom of the screen, you see rerun last race. I could rerun the last race. Now, if I was like, say, race 2 out of 6, I could rerun that last race to try to place better. So there is that option for the AI racing, which is good. Now, if you quit out in, say, a practice session or a qualifying session, I've discovered you literally have to go back in when you rerun that to requalify or repractice and requalify. Now, it does let you skip any sessions you want, which is really cool. If there's a track you already really know very well and you don't want to do practice on it, skip it. But let's go ahead and do a create an AI season real quick here, just to give you a little bit of rundown. So we're going to name this season name up here. I want to say TJR Sim testing, and go with that. So now you can leave this right here. It says all steps are listed in the beginning, or you can just go to this where it says wizard, and this is normally what it defaults as, and it just steps you through. I like this. It's real easy. So you named it. Go to tracks, add your tracks. You got what, 7 tracks right here that you can add. I need to buy this one. Nice thing is that you see these tracks, $14.95, $15 for a track, right? When I want to go try to race a scheduled race on a particular track, well, for one, depends on where that current series is at in the season. I may have missed some of them, but I just want to go enjoy the content I bought, and having an AI system allows me to actually enjoy the content I bought. And I think this is going to be revolutionary for iRacing, and they're going to sell a lot more licenses this way, because you feel like you don't have to be on a particular schedule just to enjoy the content of iRacing. And iRacing is done very good with their marketing of being a superior platform to race on, and be able to enjoy their stuff. You want to be able to enjoy what you spend all your money on. And iRacing is not cheap by any means, and they were way behind the curve as far as having AI in their system here. So kudos to them. Totally applaud that they added this. I definitely will renew my membership now. I was planning on canceling it because I actually tried to cancel it last season, but my auto renewal kicked in, and I was stuck for that other $100 or whatever it was for the year. And I really didn't play it that much. Besides when the new releases would come out, I'd check it out here and there. But this year I was planning on totally canceling it, and this here coming up next month actually, and no, February, it would be canceled, and I was going to let it lapse and be done with it. But now that they have AI, I'm totally in now. So I'm totally going to continue this, because now I can utilize all the cars that I've bought, all the tracks I've bought, and just enjoy the mechanics and the force feedback of this sim. So anyway, I digress here. You pick all the tracks you want. I don't like Barber, but I'm going to pick, Donington, Lime Rock, Nürburgring, Road America, and Watkins Glen. I love all those tracks. And you go on next to weather, and you can do dynamic sky. Click it on, and it'll be a dynamic sky on or off, so that's pretty cool. Or you can say generate weather, the very first one here. I guess I should have started there. Generate weather. It'll generate the weather for you out on track, or you can select what you want. Celsius, Fahrenheit, of course, miles per hour, kph, kilometers per hour, whatever you want. I'm going to just say generate weather, keep it simple. I like it to be fresh and new every time. Race sessions, this is default, of course. You see practice at 5 minutes, qualifier at 10, race at 15. Turn them on and off as you like. If you don't want to do practice session, you just want to go straight into qualifier. Excuse my dog in the background. At the new house, I'll be a lot further from my backyard, so it'll be much quieter here on the new studio coming up in January, end of January. Anyway, you can turn it on or off, or add more time. I would say 5 minutes is not really. It only gets you in your first out lap and about 1 lap extra on that, depending on the track that you're at. Lime Rock, you can get in a couple laps in there. It's a shorter track. Nürburgring, you're just an out lap and 1 lap after that. But qualifier, of course, then carries over wherever you qualify onto the race. Now, the race, you can do minutes, hours, whatever, or laps. I love that. You can do laps, 5 laps, or whatever you want to do. So, yeah, to your heart's content. Totally customize it yourself. So, they put a lot of thought into this. Let me see. Go on the next. Set my car, disable car damage. That's pretty neat. You can disable your car damage so you can continue playing, because after all, this isn't against real people. It is AI. However, I do highly recommend you treat AI as if it's real people, because what you're doing is practicing for a real race, and this allows you to practice for a real race. Now, I have no clue if it lowers your I rating or if there's going to be another I rating set up for this. It does actually show that you went off track this many times, blah blah blah. But I have not noticed it affect my I rating by driving bad. But I don't particularly drive too bad, anyways. But yeah, it is what it is. And of course, you got this filter system here. You can star the cars that you particularly may love, whichever. Now they have of course, the Mazda MX-5 and the 911 GT3. Very difficult car to drive, as you saw. And, well, for me, anyway, because I haven't been on the series that long. So I really had to relearn this car before I could make this video for a couple days. But Mazda Cup is, of course, way easier to drive. Obviously, all the cars will be in here eventually. But, yeah, this is where you're going to pick it. So I'm going to just say the Porsche. And we'll go to, and you can't add any more cars. So I would imagine, what I've heard is that you will be able to do like multi-class racing, so you'll be able to add several different classes in there as well, which that's going to be awesome as well. See, set AI, number of AI, 19 is set at 19, but you can go all the way up to 60 AI. Really cool. Field skill here, it's a range, however you want to do it. The default 25 to 50 is pretty easy. Actually, you're probably going to want something up to around 100%, I would imagine, as a high, and have a range maybe around 50, something like that, to be more competitive, give you a good race. But play with that. I haven't tried all scenarios myself. I've tried 75% to 50. Works pretty good. I did have to work harder to get ahead. People were passing me when I was slow in some corners, and so that was a pretty good battle, actually. I'd end up finishing, sometimes first. Really had to work for it, and then other times, third or something like that. So avoid me. Excuse my dog again. It seems to work either way. Like I was saying in the video there, you can click it on, and they will try their best to avoid you. However, they seem to avoid me either way. So I'd imagine this is just extra precaution if you wanted it. But I'm gonna leave it off. I like the worst case scenario to come up. Track options. Here you can do rolling starts, standing starts, your restart type, double file inside, all these little sections here that you can read. You can go no limit on your repairs, or you can click it on and say 1 repair, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. Fast repairs. With AI races, I just say no limit. Joker lap, so you can see that the dirt tracks will be coming here, so you'll get the rallying going on there, which is great. And I wish my dog would hush. Automatic full course yellows, you can turn that on if you want it. And then enable lucky dog rule. That's pretty cool there. Read what that says there. When the caution flag is presented, the first driver 1 lap down gets their lap return. That's pretty neat. Then we'll continue on. Track conditions, leave marbles on track. That's the most realistic, so that's what I do. Practice time, the track status, basically, at practice, qualifying, and racing. You can generate it where it generates it, or you can rubber it in the way you want to. So, real life, if you do track days in cars or motorcycles, I've had tons of experience in motorcycles doing track days. And when you start in the morning, it's a cold track, cold tires, even though I use tire warmers to heat them up. When there's not a lot of rubber on the track, it's a little sketchy out there sometimes, especially if it's colder. So it's the same thing here in iRacing. It totally simulates the real world, and if you had track experience, you can kind of you recognize that off the bat pretty quickly. So I do like that you could actually come in with it already rubbered in, and then of course once you went to your qualifying session, that status is already going to be there for you. Nice rubbered in track, so you can actually qualify pretty fast because the track is nice and warm and rubbered in and stuff. So pretty neat. Or you can just leave it on generate. I'm gonna do say around a 20%. Let's get there. There we go. And then we'll leave the rest as carryover. Time of day. There we go. Here's your selection: sunrise, morning, noon, afternoon, late, whatever, all the way into the night. Pick what you want. Your accelerator time. I like 8 times. I like to see the transition change pretty quick. Oh, you can also, I did skip it here, specific time. You can select your specific time on the track. You know what would be neat is on this calendar, does it pick it per season? Like if fall, does it look like fall? I wonder that. That would be really cool. Nope. Would you want? Yes, I do want to save. Oh, wait, exited out by saving that. Let's go back to the testing here. Good example here. Did I finish it? Oh, here we go. Edit. Go back in where I left off. Go back over here. So you can just pick where you were. Got all the tracks. I got the dynamic sky. The time. The cars. And you notice, and it's putting the check marks in there. I wonder if I would just skip to here, would it autofill those in? I don't know. But see, rolling starts, we got that going, and we will go to, yep, that's where we left off. Time of day, here's right here. And event settings. Now, the event settings is where you can actually go in and change it to a lot more. And then, of course, the points as well. Let me see. Points. I like Grand Prix points. I like to be, like I guess most of my racing stuff has been around point systems like this, like Grand Prix racing. So that's what I enjoy the most. So that's what I set it as. And then you can hit save and close out. But you can also go over here. I don't see the option pop up to change your driver's names, but that is an option. Now, if you go down here and go to all steps and expand it out, you go down to where it says set AI, you'll see this edit roster right here. And that's where, and it may have been there before, I just didn't notice it, but look at here. You got multi-class, disable card decals and numbers, so multi-class you can turn on, and, man, isn't that cool? There's your multi-class right there. Had we had extra, cars to select from, that'd be pretty cool. But man, you can go all the way in to change your name, you can change your car, more AI settings. So their driver skill is set to 75%, or aggression 57, optimization 58, how smooth they are on track. The driver age is 16. How low does it go? 13? Wow. All the way up to 90. Whoa. Old timer on the track, huh? All right, pit crew, skill 40%, strategy, risky. This is awesome, man. This is really fine tuning what you can set your AI to do in a race. You're mocking up this championship. Really, really cool stuff here. And of course, you can do that for all of them. So if you want to follow real world people and their pit crew sucks, well, change their pit crew to suck, because they're always going to be like that, right? And if their other one, say Brian or Dale Earnhardt, right? They have a good pit crew. So you can change. Why is his driver skill at 7 as a default? That's crazy. So, but it should be more like 100. But anyway, you can adjust that yourself. But you get it. Their pit crew skills at 50%. So yeah, very very skilled pit crew. you get it here. This explains it all. And this is up to 19 right now, but if I wanted to add a driver at this point, keep adding them. Obviously, you can do it all the way up to 60 people as well. So really, really cool stuff. So I hope you enjoyed. Roster error, roster with the name already exists. Oh, okay. Did I do that or something? Let me see. We'll just back out because I don't know what I did. And close that. There we go. All right. So we save it, get out of it, we're done. Season standings, there's nothing there. All right, I'm going to close that there. It'll go back to the original screen there. So I hope you enjoyed this look. You know, it's a little bit of a long video, but it's a lot to cover here on the iRacing. Hope you enjoyed this. If you're new to iRacing, I hope you see this video because it's freaking awesome now with AI driving in it. I highly recommend you at least pick up iRacing as far as you know, a 3-month trial or something like that, and check it out, see if it's for you. You do get some free cars and tracks. This isn't a paid thing or anything. This is just me being an avid sim racer, telling you my thoughts with the AI and stuff that came to iRacing, really enjoying it. And yeah, we'll see you on the track next time. Leave some comments below, especially if you got the VR working with this. And yeah, we'll see you on the track. I'm out. Oh, Merry Christmas.